Coming up, we're back into the inbox, and it's a special day for Stephen.
You're listening to Double Tap, your daily accessible technology show. Now, here's your hosts, Stephen Scott and Shaun Preece.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another Double Tap. I am Stephen Scott. He is Shaun Preece. How are you today, sir?
I am happy, Stephen Scott, but more importantly, how are you on this special day?
Oh, I'm all right. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing particularly special about it.
Oh, play it down. Listen
special
to
about
it
today?
You know you want to hit that special button. Hit the applause button.
It's my birthday! Hey!
Happy birthday!
I never celebrate birthdays.
Why is that?
Well, that killed the mood a bit, didn't it? No, I don't. I just think, so what? 1 year closer to being dead.
Wow. Okay. Happy birthday to you. I talk about a killjoy. I expect you still expected presents.
I don't expect anything, to be honest, Shaun.
Did you
Look,
get
we're men. We don't expect anything.
Oh, no, of course not. But what did you get?
I got a lovely little present from my wife and a beautiful present from the dog. Yes.
Oh,
no, hang on.
dog present.
No, hang on. Not that kind of present. You'll be pleased to hear. Although I did have to tidy up the garden afterwards. So, yeah, I suppose I did get some presents in that regard. But anyway, yes, I had a lovely couple of presents. I had a nice breakfast with my wife. We opened cards. Sorry, card.
Right. Yeah.
And
Stop.
It was nice.
Cards.
No,
absolutely pointless. Do you expect cards? Do you even bother with cards?
Well, this is the ongoing thing. So this is terrible to say, but my wife and I are really bad at this, and she started it. So I'm putting the blame on her.
She started it.
She started
Are we
it.
at school?
Yes, she started it, and it was like we were going through, clearing out as we do every so often, and you all do this. You go through your cupboards and you think, you find all this stuff, and you go, why am I keeping this? And then you think, oh, that's really nice. It's a beautiful card. And my wife said, look, would you mind if I just tossed all these into the trash? And I was like, now, thinking about this, okay, I could go two ways here.
Yeah.
Because this could be a trap. This could be a trick
Oh,
question.
absolutely. Yeah, I don't care. Throw them away.
Yeah,
or,
get rid of it. And it's like,
dare you?
so you don't care about our existence in our life. No, okay. Or alternatively, you say, does this give me an opportunity to get rid of stuff too? And that is the route I took. And we decided basically to just empty our house of all memories. It was
beautiful.
It's a Swedish way. That's what they do in Sweden, apparently.
If it doesn't bring you joy, then
get shot of it.
Well, okay, that's a Scottish phrase. Yes, absolutely. All those Valentine cards from years ago, just gone.
Yeah. Well, we didn't do that many. In fact, to be honest, it kind of stopped.
Sad.
It does sound pretty sad when you say it like that. But no, it's we don't do cards much anymore. It's kind of, it's not that it's pointless. It's just that we don't.
It is pointless. No, don't sugarcoat it. It's absolutely pointless. Okay.
It's just a nice thing, but it's not a moment, isn't it? It's a nice thing to do. I don't give cards to the neighbours anymore or any of that kind of stuff because it's just too much. That sounds like hard work to me.
You're heartless. No, I
was tempted to actually do some Christmas cards and braille out cards.
Just to annoy people?
Just to annoy them, yeah. So you figure this out.
But then you figured out that's too much work.
But that sounded like work, yeah, exactly. Well, but then, of course, you know how I work, right? So it's like nothing can just be done. That you know me, right? Nothing can just be done. So it has to go through this process of, well, how would I braille out the cards?
Let me
put
set
the card
up my
into
embosser.
the Perkins. Yeah, exactly. Do I get the embosser set up? Now I need to get the embosser set up. Now I need to make sure I've got the right software. What if I don't use the right paper? Actually, do you know what would be better? A labeler. And this is just how it goes. And suddenly I'm $3,000 deep into this investment.
Yeah, forget it.
And I don't do it.
Oh no, that's excellent. You know what we do with cards? We've turned it around a little bit because, yes, seeing AI is amazing, by the way, for reading handwritten text for cards, and that is blows my mind. But you can do that, but we don't bother. What we do is buy the most inappropriate cards. It's like card lucky dip. So while I'm at the newsagents, I will just turn that carousel around with the cards on and just pick anything.
My deepest sympathies for your Christmas.
Yes,
yeah.
To my favourite nephew or whatever it may be. And we just give each other those.
Yeah.
We try and see who can get the most inappropriate one. The kids love reading them, by the way, at that point.
I bet.
Not that we write anything in them. It's just, okay, here's a card. It's what you do.
You shouldn't even write in there. You don't even attempt.
No,
You don't even scroll.
What's the point? We used to.
You're pathetic.
It went from pen to black marker to just, okay, I've written all over the desk rather than the card itself. Give up. Forget it. There you go. Happy Christmas and happy birthday to everyone.
Thank you. And it was your partner's birthday as well, Sarah. It was her birthday just recently. We're all the December people. The best people are born in December.
Yes, absolutely. I cannot argue with that.
Yeah. Well, of course you can. You'd be slaughtered if you attempted to argue with that. But yes, no, I had a lovely time. It was very nice, and thank you to Sarah for her message and everyone else as well. Hey, listen, I want to say hello to our lovely dog. I'm going to say, you can't say dog sitter or dog walker because she's so much more than that. But lovely Linda and her daughter Gail, who look after the dogs and have been helping us out massively. I just want to say a big hello to them because I know that Linda listens in. And I want to just clarify something because Linda is the owner of the business and she looks after everything. And then Gail's her daughter and she's now, I think, taking over most of the day-to-day running, which is wonderful. Oh. And Gail's the one who takes all the credit. But Linda's apparently the one that does all the work. So I'm just putting that out there. Oh.
Well done. What a lovely shout out to Linda and Gail there. And also
start a fight. Yeah.
Who told you that someone takes the credit and the other person does all the work?
Linda, the mother.
Oh, Linda said that. Okay, just there you go, Gail. Linda says she does all the work.
She does all the work. She looks after the dogs. Thank you for listening. Yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. It does surprise me sometimes when you find out who's listening to the show.
Oh, I don't know. Stop it.
It does surprise me.
Yeah, then you start to second guess what you said.
Kind of says that we've been doing this too long, I think.
Shh. God bless you, Mr. F.
Absolutely. Listen, let's move on. And we're going to kick off a little chat about Android. Negative Julian's been in touch.
Hello, guys. Negative Julian here. Just a couple of things. First off, you may recollect that a month or two back, I emailed in saying that I couldn't get Gemini searches and Google Calendar to work together and asking for help. At the time, I still couldn't get it to work and I gave up. But I tried again last week and it still didn't work. But I got some different instructions this time. And I also got the impression that the process itself had been simplified. So I followed the instructions. First off, you have to go into Gmail, which seems counterintuitive, but I went into Gmail. Top left-hand corner, there's a button for navigation drawer, I think it's called. So you double-click that, go back down the list that appears to settings. And in settings, there are a couple of tick boxes for smart features, neither of which were ticked in my case. I'm still not entirely clear whether you need to tick both, but I did. I ticked both of those tick boxes for smart features, came out, tried again, still didn't work. Instead, I got quite a long message about why it didn't work and what I was supposed to do. But you can effectively ignore that because underneath the message there are two buttons, one for cancel and I believe the other one is accept or okay, something like that. But anyway, you double tap on accept, it takes you back to the front screen again, and then if you try asking Gemini about your calendar, all of a sudden it's working and it's continued working. So that is fixed. It's still a bit of a palaver. Is palaver a word they use in the United States and Canada? No idea. But anyway, it is a bit of a palaver, but it is fixed. Second thing is, have you got Talkback 15.1 yet? I haven't. I'm still stuck on 15.0 for some reason. But if you got Talkback 15.1, there are apparently some very worthwhile updates there, particularly to granularity in websites and searches in websites. But a third item that might particularly interest you, Stephen, is a change to the description of images in Gemini. I know you like using that, so I thought I'd mention it.
Yeah.
If you do your image description in Gemini as you have before, you'll get the same description. But this time, if you swipe right, apparently Gemini will just read any text in the image to you. So if you've got an image with a lot of other stuff in there, but some text as well, it will ignore all the background stuff, not tell you about that. It will just read the text to you, and apparently it does the entire text, not just a summary. So that sounds pretty good to me, and I'm looking forward to the possibility of trying it myself. But I thought you might want to give it a go if you have got 15.1. So for now, goodbye from Negative Julian. Cheerio.
Thank you, Julian. Appreciate that. Definitely be checking that out.
I did Gemini.
Well, yes, I have, because if you remember, I've been going on about the whole image description thing for a while. Obviously, it's using Gemini. Are you meaning the actual Gemini AI itself?
Yes, I apologise. I should have been clearer, Stephen Scott. I'm so sorry.
Question.
I meant, have you tried...
Question. Hang on, you don't stop me for question. So why are you not stopping for question?
All right, question. What?
Why did you not do that properly?
Because I'm a terrible person. There, are you happy? Happy birthday to you.
Sorry, I couldn't think of any other question. Sorry.
I've been trying out the Gemini AI app on the iPhone, admittedly. You know, just like ChatGPT or Pi, as was my favourite.
Traitor.
Haven't used it in a while. Got to say, very impressive. The Gemini real-time conversation. It's very good. So,
what, better than ChatGPT?
It's on a par with it, I would say. I do like it. I think it's one of those I keep going back to for a question. So yeah, no, I do like it. Have you tried the new? Have you got the 15.1 on your Motorola G54? Is it?
Not on it yet. No. So I will keep hitting that update button. It was the same with Talkback 15. It just kind of appeared one day randomly. So I was like, okay, cool, got it. But 15.1, no, not yet. But I was reading about this a few other features actually that are coming out. One is that image Q&A in Lookout has been there before, but it's now using Gemini 1.5 Pro to give more helpful image descriptions compared to previous versions of it. All you do is upload or open a photo in the app to hear the caption read aloud in a natural sounding voice, but then you can get deeper understanding of the image by asking follow-up questions, and that is now available globally. So that is pretty cool. That will be nipping at the heels of Seeing AI.
And Be My Eyes. What? Be My AI.
Well, Be My AI, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, which are both available on Android as well. But Lookout is a nice app as well. It's
a great app, yeah. I mean, one thing that really goes in Lookout's favour is the speed of it. It's a very quick response. Like if you hold up something in front of the camera and you're asking it to identify a product, for example, it's very quick at response.
Which is what you want, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Captions as well. Now, this might not seem like something that would be hugely useful to blind people, but for deaf-blind people, and of course those who are deaf as well, captions are hugely important. And actually, do you know what? It's not even that anymore. I mean, it used to be just for, you would say, well, captions are great for people who are deaf. There's lots of people, for example, who, when they're watching content out and about, prefer to watch content with captioning on. Say if they're watching a movie on a bus or something, that they don't want to maybe have earbuds in, but they still want to watch content and be aware of their surroundings. So captions are really important for lots of people. And of course, for data these days, if you can search a website and you can use the transcript of the content for data, then that is really cool because you can find information more quickly. But one feature they've added in Google, which I think is pretty cool, is expressive captions. So what is that? Well, it basically tries to capture what it says is the intensity and emotion of how someone is speaking, from volume and tone to sounds that say more than words. So now, for example, in captioning, you'll see things like if someone's whispering.
Whispers.
Yeah, it'll say whispers on screen, along with the text of the conversation. Cheers and applause, for example. Groaning, when you might hear a lot of ear.
Back in my Vision days.
Yes.
I remember seeing this in subtitles where it used to be in little square brackets and it would say something like singing.
That's right.
Or
music, with little musical notes. I remember that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so it's almost like I'd call them stage directions.
Yeah.
Along with the subtitles. So you get something that's happening audibly that probably isn't actual words, vocals.
Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of people have been seeing when they talk about captioning content or creating or providing transcripts, It's something that a lot of people ask for. They'll say, look, can you give us more expressive? They don't use that phrase. I think there is an actual phrase for this, but that is what they're talking about, right? Expressive captioning, which is giving you more than just the words. You know, if someone's laughing, you kind of want to know, right? You want to know what's going on. You want to know what that's all about. So, you know, I think that's pretty cool.
It's very cool. Look, you, as I said, I remember seeing this ages ago in subtitling, but we're talking real-time AI-created subtitling here. Yeah. That's a big deal, being able to get the context of what's happening. That's fantastic.
Also, another one which is quite cool, share pictures, videos, and more with a QR code. So now you can use QR codes in Quick Share to make it easier to transfer pictures, videos, and documents. So all you have to do is select the media file you want to share, then tap the QR code and have others scan it for a secure transfer. So no need to add as a contact anymore or verify devices or change your sharing settings. You can just very easily share a specific video or a picture with a QR code. I think, again, that's a pretty cool feature.
It is. I would say that's what WhatsApp's for, but okay, okay.
But that's the thing. But I've been to parties or I've been to events.
You've never been to a party.
I was at one party. Okay, I went to one party once in my life.
That was this morning. Yes,
that's right. And I
you and the dog
in my kitchen on my own with my wife and my dogs. That was it. It was a great party. I had a great time. But, you know, having been to those events where people are taking pictures all the time and you say, oh, hey, could you send me that picture? But you don't have their contact. You just want to quickly get those pictures across. You think, okay. And everyone stands around going, okay, how do we do this?
Airdrop it? Oh, no.
Yeah, you're on Android or no, it's not going to work. So actually, you can now just say, okay, quick share. So, is there an equivalent to this on iPhone? I don't think there is. Not as simple as that.
No,
I mean, AirDrop is obviously Mac to phone or phone to phone, but that's it.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. Okay, I take it back. Sorry, I was being dismissive. How dare I?
Yes, you were.
I was
being
very
dismissive.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear from Jim on a range of topics.
Greetings, gentlemen. Fabulous
Greetings.
podcast. Not only am I a blind man in my own right, I have been to varying degrees since birth, but I'm also a vision rehab specialist working with guide dogs out at Liverpool. Although I thoroughly enjoy your podcast, my marvellous calico cat, Niff, and I find it just a wee bit dog-centric. I think you owe it to those of us with kittens to have one on the show at some point. I have so much I want to say on so many subjects, but have concluded that my numerous observations should probably be made over several emails. This introductory email is a short one. I have been using the Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses for several months now and have come to see them as a useful piece of kit with a great deal of potential. Access to the Meta AI read or description remains intermittent on my specs, but when it works, it's great, particularly when identifying products in shops, providing an overview of correspondence and menus, describing scenes and objects. I was delighted a few days back to learn that we can now set alarms on our glasses, and that we can also ask them to remind us where we've parked the car. If, like me, you sometimes put items down and can't find them an hour or two later, I thought the reminder function might be employed in this regard. I will doubtless drop you a line or two about Braille, glidance, and coping with deteriorating vision in due course. Thanks once again for a great show. I've already benefited from it both personally and professionally. Yours James Alexander Penman Brownlee Cummings. But you can call me Jim.
Thank goodness for that, because I don't think I can remember that one again.
Wow, that's the same as having Lord Robin Christopherson on the show. That was
of Christopherson Shire.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Hello, Jim, and was it Miff the cat?
Yeah.
Have we got
cats.
a meow sound effect?
We don't have any sound effects for cats. This is clearly a biased program towards dogs.
Okay, again, the Meta Ray-Bans. They're the AI topic is something that just won't die. We are hearing so much about it, and rightfully so, because people really don't know what's happening. But the problem is, we don't either at the moment.
No, so we are hearing lots of rumours, lots of speculation. We have reached out to Meta. I actually decided it was time to hear directly from this company to know what's going on.
Essay, I understand.
Well, I have written to them before, but with no response on this. But I did send them a pretty long message at the weekend, which I'm awaiting response for. Now, I will say I have had contact from Meta. They have responded to say that they will be back to me in due course. So I am expecting some kind of statement or something from them regarding Meta AI use in the UK. I think we need to be quite clear about this, because I've noticed something, just going through the various release notes of updates and software. There's something that's kind of stood out here. Meta AI is kind of being used as this catch-all term for what the whole thing is, but there's actually a number of parts to Meta AI. And the one part that we're possibly most interested in, I think, is look and describe. The ability to ask, what am I looking at? What is in front of me? Describe this image, describe this item, whatever it might be, like we were talking about with Google Lookout.
Yeah.
The problem is that is the one feature that does not seem to be available yet in the UK. It's available in the US, it's available in Canada, and it's available in Australia based on the notes on the most recent update to the Meta glasses. And it does actually say, it says two things in there. This is what stood out. It says Meta AI is now available in the UK. But then it says, look and describe is available in the US, Canada, and Australia. Okay, so two things are happening here. So Meta AI is apparently now available in the UK. Now, I have had a source inform me, and a very credible source inform me that Meta AI is rolling out across the UK. But what I want to confirm, and what I'm waiting for Meta to confirm with me, is the look and describe feature, because I think this is where the disconnect might be. Because when I go into my app now, it says Meta AI is available, but the look and describe doesn't work. So clearly two sides of the coin here, but one of them, only one, is actually functioning. So this is what we need clarity on, and that's what we're hoping Meta will clarify with us. And as soon as they do, we will let you know.
Yes, because that's the whole thing was at the beginning was, hey, let's turn on a VPN and let's get access to Meta AI, because it just wasn't available. And we just parsed that together with the look and describe feature. But you're absolutely right. I got the same message saying Meta AI is now available in your location, thinking, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to get look and describe back. And it doesn't. I can ask it the tallest building and any other AI question, absolutely fine. But it will not take a picture and describe it. So that's what we're waiting on. We'll have to see what Meta says.
I mean, look, there's lots of news swimming about. This is what we know so far, or at least what we've been told so far. I promise you, if we get any more information on this, we will get it to you here on Double Tap. But be rest assured that we have good people, not just at Meta, who are helping us out with this, but also around Meta as well, who are digging this information out for us. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to get this information, but I do accept, and I go back to the Mike Shebenek conversation that we had last week, where he talked about the challenges of this, because ultimately, Meta is a huge company. It's many departments, many people across many, many countries. And of course, they serve literally billions of people. So it's not as simple as just, wow, but why didn't some PR person tell it? Oh, look, PR may not know. And I'm getting the impression that PR have to go up the chain on this and figure the answer out. And that's fine. Yes. I'd rather I want to get the answer direct and find out exactly what's going on for all our benefits. And
the confusion is there because of, hey, why isn't Meta AI working in the UK? And they go back and check. Well, it is. Well, okay, actually, we mean the look and describe feature. Why isn't that working?
I think that's the nuance of this that we need to be clear on. But I'm not thinking for a second, and I'm not certainly thinking for a second it's never coming. I do believe it will come. And there are good, perhaps very, very good reasons why it's not been turned on. Maybe it's just not functional enough.
The problem seems to be with GDPR here in Europe. That's the problem. All the data will be used to train the AI model. Yeah. And various organizations, I think in 11 countries in Europe, have said, we don't do that without consent. Now, I don't quite understand the reasoning why Meta is sort of the target of this when other AI, we've been using various other AI services to look and describe. Mm-hmm. So I don't actually know what the problem is other than maybe the scale. We're talking 4 billion users in the report that I read when I was looking into the GDPR problem.
You do sometimes think, don't you? There's a lot of politics at play in this as well. Certain companies are gone after, and you think, Really? You know, like
Well, I
the
don't
whole Apple DOJ case. Google, of course, was also under that. You know, pretty much the same argument was given to Google
But doesn't
about
there
being a
seem to
monopoly on search. And you're
seem
like,
to
come on,
be-
it's not.
an easy fix here in that the terms and conditions that we all obviously all read. But I mean,
Well, don't read. That's possibly
if you
the
want to
problem.
use AI, do you accept that your data will be used to train? You just agree to that, or you don't agree to that. Surely that makes everyone happy. We're giving consent, or we're not. I don't. But hey, don't know. There may be more.
The European Union is a much harsher regulator than other parts of the world at the moment. That's for sure. Now, you can argue that's a good thing or a bad thing. Again, that depends on your stake in this and what you believe these companies are up to. But, you know, most of us have devices in our homes with microphones in them that are actively listening to us all the time.
I am utterly sick of GDPR. Can I say that? For anyone outside of Europe who don't know, that for every website I go to, I need to go on the I accept cookies button every single time. And
What's
it
a
drives me
nightmare?
absolutely crazy. It's just so inconvenient.
It is. It's a horrible, horrible thing. And I feel that, you know, I as you know, I'm a big proponent of personal responsibility. I think that we should have access to clear information. I think oftentimes the challenge here has been poor information, or you know, what was it, the iTunes terms and conditions was like 100 pages long or something. It's like, you know, that's part of the problem here. We're not reading the terms and conditions, so therefore someone is reading them and saying, wait a minute, you know, we need to be clearer here on what is being accepted. You know, when Apple turn up and say, yes, we'll have your house now because according to paragraph 13, you know, of this thing, it's like, what?
I think a lot of this has good motives,
good
behind
intentions.
It. Yeah, good intentions, like cancelling subscriptions, you know, making it easy to do that and holding companies to account when they sort of hide it away down, you know, 15,000 different screens to cancel something. Absolutely. It should be easy to do. Unsubscribe from mailing lists. And this is the same sort of thing. But I don't know. Sometimes it seems to be at the cost of the user experience at some point.
Well, I mean, I would recommend that. I mean, in particular with cookies. I mean, that's a good example here, because when you think about that, you know, one thing that could be done is an operating system level. You could have a look. Do you accept that companies will keep your data or not?
Yeah,
and you could say no, and that's it. Done. You know, no. Obviously, there is. You know, again, maybe a bit of a follow up on that. What that means for you as a user. You know, so I always think back to the Siri situation with the smart speaker with the HomePod, right? Now, I know that Greg Hayes will immediately be in touch here and saying, hang on, Stephen, you're going to talk down the HomePod. That's not good. And I appreciate that you agree. Well, we all agree. I think the HomePod is a great sounding speaker, great for music and all the rest. But, you know, ask her anything beyond intelligence and she doesn't have a clue. Or beyond music, I should say. And the Apple Intelligence just does not seem to be there. Now, that's partly because Apple are not holding on to your data. So the information that essentially your voice, the words you're saying, whatever you're asking, the questions you're asking to Lady A, for example, that is being taken and that is being used to train and make the system better. Hence why it's a better smart speaker. Again, I'm going to get emails, but that's, in my opinion, I think the Lady A, okay, it's got its flaws, but overall it's a much better smart speaker because of the fact that it's actually training our voices. It's training from what we're saying. Sometimes you might ask a question to it and you might get a response saying, how was that? Was that the right answer? You know, which I often think is a funny question to ask. If I didn't know the answer in the first place, how did I know that it's given me the right answer? But okay, fine. But the point is that it's wanting to know, is that useful? Is that helpful? And, you know, it's training itself all the way. Now, Siri doesn't do that. And the HomePod doesn't do that. So therefore, it's never going to get as smart. But that's the trade-off, right? If you're someone who's really about privacy and about security, then that's probably the device you want. Because then you're not having a fear of that data being used in any other way. And look, well, I don't know if we'll ever really know in our lifetime. Maybe we will, but I don't know if in our lifetimes we'll know the true impact of this. You know, what the impact of all this user data is. Because I think we're still kind of in this process of this data being trained. But, you know, I mean, I've had emails. What was I got recently? I think on one of my devices told me that, you know, my email address had popped up in umpteen dark web searches. And it's just, goodness me, you know, what does that mean? You know, but this is the cost of this, right? Sometimes you sign up for a company and then that company's data is sold. And, you know, we don't really know what's happening with all this data, you know, with all this stuff that's out there.
Can I ask you? Sorry, question.
Yes.
You know when you get that pop-up saying this email address has been leaked in a data breach, it may be risky to use. Do you ever go and change it?
Change the password, you mean?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. 100 times. Yeah.
Me either.
Or, well, if I do change it, I just usually change the last couple of numbers at the end, because I've got
1,
to
2,
remember
3.
it. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, okay. I just want to do it as in, like, in the OS. Just, okay, here's my new password. Go off and sort it out for me.
Well, that's you know what, exactly. And this is where I think the operating systems can be smarter, like the cookie thing. Exactly the same. Like I go into that passwords app on my Mac, which is really good, and it will say, this password was last changed on. I'd love to be able to just change it there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be so cool.
Now, there is a link. If you say, do you want to change this password? It will take you to the website. But even then, it's like, I'm so lazy.
They've said, look, Stephen, we're taking the horse to water. It's kind of on you to drink now. No. I want the bucket to be at my mouth. And then I want you to pour the bucket.
Can I also say, I've been using iCloud, talking of passwords. So you have the passwords app now on Windows if you install iCloud.
Yes,
and I use the iCloud passwords extension in Edge and in Chrome. So any websites I go to that I've already have in my, on my iPhone, in the keychain, as it was known, I can log in nice and easy. The accessibility in iCloud software on Windows is not great.
No.
Every time I notice this, I go to it, I always think it's not a good look from Apple. I've tried Narrator, I've tried Jules, I've tried NVDA, and there's a lot of button, especially in the password app. You'll get to the list of your passwords, 1 of 63. It won't read it out to you. Got no chance.
Jeez.
And I think they're really sort of dropping the ball there. So Apple, if you're listening, can you sort that out? Accessibility on iCloud on Windows is not great at all.
I was thinking about investing in something like 1Password or one of these. I'm also a little bit nervous. I've always been a bit nervous about going down this road. I always fear, again, data leaks, companies that are third-party companies taking over or having access to your data.
Was
LastPass, wasn't it? That was the one that was it LastPass?
I don't like to say in case I get it wrong because there's so...
Okay, let's say it wasn't LastPass just in case it was.
Honestly, I don't know because, Dashlane, 1Password, there's so many out there. But yeah, even then, I
think 1Password's actually got quite a good reputation. Certainly got a good one from an accessibility point of view. A lot of people are quite impressed by it. Seems very usable.
That's good to know. Arguably, the one in Chrome, the one in Edge, the inbuilt browser password managers are pretty good as well. So it's just when you start switching platforms, isn't it? You want this password manager on your phone as well, and on my Apple TV, and actually on my TV when I'm trying to log into Netflix on the TV. It's difficult.
I know that it's always the other device that's the problem. It's like you say, Netflix is a great example of that. I'm always in that passwords app on my phone.
Yes.
What's the password for this again? And it's hoping I've saved it. When I changed it again.
It's so strange, though, right? We've got the most advanced biometric systems in our pockets with the either Touch ID or the fingerprint scanner or facial recognition. We've got these in our pockets, and yet we're still scrabbling around trying to remember, name of our dog and 1, 2, 3 exclamation mark at the end passwords. It's ridiculous. We should be able to just verify with phone, bang, you're locked in with your biometric data. I don't understand why it's taking so long. Passkeys and passphrases were meant to do all this, but it's taken its time.
So I was, we stayed in a hotel a couple of weeks back. We'd gone off for a nice little overnight. Actually, it was 2 nights we stayed. So this is the thing, right? We stayed over. I have to tell you this whole story. I don't know why, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So we stayed the 2 nights. And my problem is that I get bored very quickly. Yes. And so we got to the hotel and we had a lovely night. We had a great time and we spent the next day and we just relaxed and we ended up falling asleep. And then you do that thing where you just sleep all day and it was great. You put the do not disturb on outside and you just lie there. And it was great. We had a really nice time.
When you're at a certain age. Yeah, it's lovely.
A lot of this, yeah. You go to a hotel, what do you look forward to? Sleeping in the bed. Sleeping. And so, we get up about 6 o'clock in the afternoon / evening. And we're thinking, right, okay, getting a bit hungry. And I'm thinking to myself, do you know what? I've kind of had my time away now. I want to go home. Now, we had another night to stay.
Yes.
But I thought, I think that's it. I think I'm done. So my wife was thoroughly unimpressed. But, the weather wasn't so great, so that sounded like a good excuse. So we said, let's go.
What, in the hotel room? The
Yes.
weather wasn't so
Yes,
great.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It was getting a bit rainy in there. There's a few clouds. So certainly when I mentioned we're going home, I'll tell you. So anyway, we decided to head home, and that was fine. But while we were staying at the hotel, put the TV on, and Netflix was available. There was a button on the remote for Netflix, and did my usual call Be My Eyes, which was wonderful on the glasses. And they kind of talked me through, and they said, oh, if you want Netflix, there's a button on the remote. Brilliant. So I hit the button, and it was already logged in. So someone, I thought maybe it was like a corporate account, but it turned out it was I won't say the girl's name, but it was the girl's name that came up, and her profile. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. That's kind of dangerous, right? That she's left that there.
Happens all the time, by the way.
So navigated to sign out, got out of it, and managed to log back in, and that was fine. I left the hotel. A couple of weeks later, I'm sitting watching Netflix the other night, and all my profile names had changed.
Oh.
So there are 3 profiles, and all of the names of them had changed to random names I did not know. And just for a second, I thought, I've been hacked.
Yes.
And then I remembered that I'd been at the hotel. And whilst laughing like a hyena at the poor lady who had forgotten to sign out of the TV in the room,
yes,
I clearly forgot to sign out of the TV in the room as well.
As I said, happens all the time.
And so therefore someone was in changing my profiles. Now, I don't think they could access any more than that. At least I hope they couldn't. Has made me a little bit nervous, but I've been checking my bank and everything seems fine. So no one seems to have got access to my account. I don't think they would have access to that. My Netflix account actually comes through my television provider.
Yes.
So I don't think they would have direct access to account details through the app, at least on the TV. But they can access the email address. That's important to know. You can access the email address in there. So you've got to be careful. When you say access,
you mean they can view what your email address is?
Yes, you can see the email address. So, I could get an email saying, I'm going to delete all your favorite shows or whatever.
Yes.
But I suppose there's not a lot they can do other than watch the shows, right? But anyway, the point was, went into the app on my phone, changed the password, and signed out of all my devices. Now, of course, good and bad to that. I feel more secure, but now every time I go to watch Netflix, I need to sign in again. What's my password? And what's the new password? And here we go again.
And again, convenience over safety, security, and privacy for me. I just make it easy.
Just let them watch it, just let them enjoy it. Who cares? It's just a show. But this is the problem, right? And, I probably got one of those. I was thinking, you normally get that email that says a new device is watching your Netflix.
Yes.
Well, of course, I wouldn't get that because it didn't sign out.
No, that's right. Yeah.
So I wouldn't know that they were still watching it because it would only tell you it signed in, which I signed in. So
there should be a thing on hotel, I don't know, geofencing, something, a marker that this is a hotel system or something that automatically logs you out after 24 hours. Or
you ever been to one of those bathrooms outside, one of those public bathrooms that wash themselves? You seen this? Basically, it's just a big gigantic tank of water. You ever been to that?
I have heard about them. I've always been too scared to actually use them. Yes.
They're the most terrifying things in the world to use, by the way, because when you go in, there's a timer that starts and it counts down audibly, rather helpfully, but it does start telling you you've got 2 minutes. And then if you don't get that door opens in 2 minutes, and if you're not out of there, you're getting washed as well. So you got to be, and I don't think it's a very pleasant washing experience.
Sounds like
it's
a game show or something.
Inside a tsunami. Yeah. Actually, do you know they should just have people play games in that? Who wants to be inside a tsunami?
Public
play at your local high street.
Chicken. Yeah, no, that sounds gross. Sorry, what about them?
Well, I think that is basically what should happen to TVs when you leave a hotel room. I mean, without the water, obviously.
Oh God, sorry, I missed that. That was a Stephen Scott analogy.
Oh, sorry, we should have done that properly.
Anyway,
yeah.
Thanks, Jim.
What did he ask?
No idea anymore. I've totally forgotten. But thank you very much. We look forward to your
more cats. I think that was the thrust of that one. Yes, thank you, Jim. And I think we got that email about an hour ago. Right, so let's move on. And Kurt wants to talk about Seeing AI versus Be My AI.
I have been an avid user of both Be My Eyes and Seeing AI for many years. I always saw Seeing AI as my Swiss Army knife. Each one of its individual channels was like a separate tool in my knife. I would use Be My Eyes every time I needed some sighted assistance. Now, with Be My Eyes artificial intelligence in place, I hardly ever launch Seeing AI anymore. I have found that taking a photo of a document, something out of the pantry, or even paper currency is much faster and more accurate when using Be My AI. Take the product channel in Seeing AI as an example. I don't find the UPC code right away, and it takes me some time to locate it. In addition, when I do latch onto the barcode, the results come back with unknown product more often than not. When I do the same process with Be My Eyes, I get back almost immediate feedback as to what the product is. As of today, November 21st, I have not received my Be My Eyes update to my Meta Ray-Ban glasses. Do you know if the update will be using Be My Eyes AI if I held up a product and asked the glasses to tell me what it sees?
No.
Love your show. We celebrate Thanksgiving next week. When I get asked what I am thankful for, I will tell everyone at the table, double tap, of course.
Oh.
From Kurt.
Wow. Well, and amongst the insults about politics, double tap gets a mention. I like it. Thank you. Thank you for that, Kurt. That's very kind. And I hope you had a lovely Thanksgiving. I'm hoping you also got the update. But as Sean's alluded to, you're not going to get Be My AI yet.
No. But when we spoke to Mike Buckley at the launch on the announcement of Be My Eyes coming to the Metas, he was very quick to say, yeah, this is the start of the journey. This isn't just the only thing. So, I mean, hinting towards, I guess, that the Be My AI feature will be coming. And the sooner the better, seeing the trouble we're having with Meta AI, look and describe. So, yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, you know, it can make me think, just when I was talking earlier about the whole Google Lookout update and then thinking about the Envision glasses, it's just a shame in a way that Google hasn't come out with anything new. Because if you think about Google Lookout on the glasses, that solves a lot of problems right there. You know, that essentially is that AI, you know, and they could do that. But Google have not, I don't think there's any plans. I mean, who knows? You know, we're not privy to that. But
there's so many apps you can think of where the glasses, being able to go hands-free with a camera would be amazing. I mean, Seeing AI, going back to the email there from Kurt. I kind of agree with you, Kurt, by the way. I never really got on with the barcode scanning, the product channel.
No, me neither.
As it was. I mean, I think it's one of the best implementations I've seen, you know, giving you a beep when it's actually seeing, oh, I can see a barcode somewhere, it's just not quite in view. It was pretty well done, but the actual performance of it wasn't great. I never got great information. Seeing AI for me is amazing for real-time short text. That real-time OCR is the fastest solution out there. I use it all the time for doing exactly that. Going through the ready meals or whatever packaging in the fridge. It is so quick and so responsive. I use that. I still find Be My Eyes a little bit slow for that because you got to go through the process of taking a picture and then waiting for the response. Whereas with real-time OCR and Seeing AI, I think it's absolutely amazing. But they're both great, as you say, tools in the toolbox, right?
Yeah, we got the freezer food delivery yesterday.
Oh, did you get it?
Oh, yes. And it was great because that was it, filling up the freezer. And I wanted to kind of organize it to some degree. And again, that's it with with Seeing AI, I should say, being able to just scan it very quickly. Again, though, you think to yourself, God, can you imagine this in glasses? You know, just literally just boom, boom, because you've got to work with one hand the whole time. That's the problem.
Yeah,
God,
no, absolutely. I would. That would be absolutely amazing if they did Seeing AI in conjunction with the Meta View. Please make that happen, Microsoft.
Be My Eyes, Microsoft, they're all talking to each other. There you go. I'll just leave that out there. Okay, moving on. Ronnie's a bit concerned about you falling, Sean, aren't we all?
Sean, don't worry about a grippy ball up into your cane. What you need to do is invest in some spikes that go on the bottom of your shoes. They are available in a lot of the hiking stores and a whole bunch of other places. My daughter uses them when she goes hiking in the Rockies, and she also uses them just to walk around a normal parking lot. It's something I'm even looking into, but I don't go outside in the winter, so I'm not really too worried about it. Ciao.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you know what? I actually have some, like an elastic band that you put over your shoes, and they do have spikes on the bottom to grip in and, you know, non-slip. They are amazingly good. Problem is, I am now terrified that I'm going to step on the dog's foot. if I'm wearing them. So for that reason, because I'm only really going out here when I'm taking the dog out in the morning and it's getting icy and slippy. And I'm slightly concerned now that I'm going to step on the dog's paw if I have those on. So far I'm resisting, but let's see how snowy and slippy it gets out there. I may have to, but thank you.
I cannot even begin to think about it because I'm like you. If I start thinking about it, I'd never leave the house. I mean, you might remember it happened to me last year, I think it was. I fell. Yeah. And I actually fell forwards because my right foot just gave way, and it was a dodgy road as usual. The paving is so bad, and I tripped. It was almost like you go over on your ankle. Didn't break, thank goodness, but the way it went, I just fell forward.
Weird.
Now, thankfully, I did because if I'd fallen to the side, I dread to think, especially when you're taking the dog for a walk, it is utterly terrifying. Although we did learn the other day, as I nearly fell in the house. I'm very good at falling over, but I nearly fell in the house. And the dog, my wife said that little Oni dealt with the problem quite astutely by basically all four paws going into this platform position of just, what on earth is this? As this building comes down on top of me, and ran. So he's well prepared.
You remember that scene in Indiana Jones where that big boulder's running after him? Yes, just that. That is basically it. But is that the ones that are like the ones that go over the shoes? So you wear the shoes and then you wear them over. Those are really good. Big, thick elastic bands that have little metal. These are metal tipped spikes for exactly that, and they work really well. But it is like wearing running spikes, And I just think, oh God, if I stood on the dog. But no, thank you very much.
Though. Do you stand in the dog's toe much?
No, I don't, not at all. But there's always that chance. As soon as I put them on, I will do, and couldn't deal with that.
I know. Okay, let's move on. Here's a tip from Callum.
Hello, Double Tappers. I know you've always got a lot of messages to get through, so I'll try and keep this brief for a change. But Stephen mentioned in one of the episodes a couple of days ago, at the time of recording this, that he was having issues getting the Amazon Echo to connect to Wi-Fi networks when out and about, like hotel Wi-Fi networks and stuff. A tip that you can do is if you change your personal hotspot on your phone, if you change the network name and password of that to match your network at home, then the Amazon Echo and same for like the Apple TV and stuff, any devices that you've got with you will just connect, or they should just connect, because it'll just think that it's your home network. So the downside to this is that on iOS, you've got to change the name of your entire device, which could cause some issues. I don't know. It's been a while since I did this, but I know it works. But you'd have to go to Settings, General, then About, and then there's Name there. So you'd have to change the name of your device to be your home network's SSID. And then within the personal hotspot settings, there's the option of your network password. And as I said, change that to be your home network's password. And then all the devices that you've got there should just connect. And then obviously you would probably want to change it back again when you're done, change the name back and stuff. You'd certainly want to turn off the personal hotspot, because otherwise that would cause all sorts of weird and wonderful issues when you came back home.
Yeah, that's true.
But that should work. It's a little bit easier on Android because I think you can change the name of the network itself without affecting the device. But on iOS, the only way you can change the name is to change your phone's name. But yeah, just thought I'd share that in case that's useful. Keep up the good show, and I'll speak to you soon.
Wow, thank you,
That
Callum.
is genius, isn't it?
That is genius.
It makes total sense. So you're changing your phone's device name to match the home Wi-Fi that you're using.
The SSID.
SSID, yeah, absolutely.
Which is basically the name of the network connection, right? Or the name of the Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah, and then turning on your personal hotspot on your phone, giving it the same password as your Wi-Fi network at home, and all your devices should just see it as your home Wi-Fi and just connect automatically without changing anything. It is, I say it again, genius, Callum.
Well, until you get home and then all your devices connect to your phone to try and get on the internet, and suddenly you find you a gigantic internet bill.
As he said, make sure you change the name back afterwards.
Or even just change the password every time. That would save having to do everything twice.
I'm definitely going to try that out. That is a very cool idea. So this comes from, as Callum said, trying to connect an Echo smart speaker when in a hotel room to your phone's hotspot. I never managed to get it to work. I'm going to try this, though.
Definitely. That sounds absolutely wonderful. No, thank you for that, Callum. Really appreciate that. That is really helpful. I am... do you know what? I think I'm going somewhere this week, so I'm going to be testing that out. I'll let you know if it works.
Okay. Well done.
Let you know how that goes. Now, talking of tips and things that people noticed along the way, Chris has been in touch on WhatsApp to share a tip that he has found rather useful.
Hello, double tappers. This is Christopher from Melbourne, Australia. For those who are not aware, Microsoft has done a change that is very much appreciated from a screen reader user standpoint, and that is that first letter navigation now works on the taskbar, if it's still called that, when you do Windows T. So, yeah.
Wow, again, something I did not know. First when you said taskbar, I thought you meant the state. Well, was it status bar at the bottom right?
System tray. All your inactive icons, NVDA, your clock, your desktop, things like that are in your system tray. You get there by hitting Windows B. Mm-hmm. But no, the taskbar, actually, that is something I barely ever use.
Me too.
But you can pin various apps to the taskbar. If you're in your start menu, for example, you can right-click on an app and say, pin this to taskbar, I believe. And there's already some apps there by default, probably Edge and Explorer, whatever it may be.
File Explorer, yeah.
Yeah, File Explorer. So, yeah, it's something I haven't used, but it's good to see that the first letter navigation is there. So Windows T and just, I suppose, F for File Explorer, whatever you've got in there, you could quickly jump in there. The trouble is, I mean, it's very much, I hit the Windows key and start typing what I want to launch and just hit enter. It's just sort of muscle memory for me now.
Yeah, doesn't work for me though all the time. So I went into JAWS the other day, and I'd updated JAWS. And it must have either replaced something or something had changed with the shortcut. So now every time I type JAWS, it will bring up an orphan file, just a file which is pointed nowhere. If I hit enter on it, it'll just tell me that it cannot find the location of that file. Now, yes. I guess the answer is go off and find it.
And delete it.
Who's got time for that?
Oh, God, yeah. I wanted someone to do it for me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, or just ignore it and find the actual folder or file. So I found the file, but what I noticed was I had to arrow down twice. As soon as there's I guess there's a header or something that above it.
Yeah,
so you have to arrow past.
I expect the next one would be. Yeah.
And then you arrow past that, and then you get to JAWS 2024, and there it is. But I have to do that every time. So I'm thinking, well, hang on, that's a bit of a nuisance. But if I'm able to go to, the same thing would happen in fairness if the shortcut on the taskbar wasn't working the same.
Exactly,
I guess it would just disappear.
Yeah.
But
tidy it up, Stephen Scott. Just fix it.
I know. I find this with PCs. It's just full of rubbish. Speaking of which, by the way, I am speaking of geniuses, because our Callum, of course, is a genius.
Yes.
I am too a genius because I fixed my PC, my broken PC.
What are you talking about?
So I get the PC, the big box PC, big box. It's got
I
PC
believe it's
on
called a desktop Windows computer, yes.
The big box PC. I got the big box and I put it on the desk and I set it all up because I was wanting to get it up and running. It's a really good machine I've got. It's an HP Omen 25L.
Oh, 25 litres. Lovely.
Yes, it's a very heavy machine. And I put it up on the desk, get it all set up, and I pressed the power button. And the power button pushed and then kept going. And then kept going, and then my finger was inside the machine, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, this isn't doing anything. And then I realised there was an issue with the power button, clearly. So I opened up the machine. No, don't get worried. No, it's all right. I went into the machine. I unplugged it all first.
Well done.
I thought, I'm going to need a power button. I'm making sure this is unplugged.
Yeah.
So managed to locate where it is. It's like at the top of the machine, they've put this little fake button that you obviously push the button, and then inside it's pushing the actual button of the power. But there was something missing. So there was a chasm had opened up between the squishy button and the actual button.
Yes, and there's a case button, which usually has some sort of pronger, I believe the technical term is.
Pronger, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, which presses the actual power button inside. Okay.
but the thing that was between the pronger and the button, I hate to get technical, it had gone. So I tipped the machine upside down, as you do, to see if anything would fall out of it. And a couple of things did fall out. Nothing that I was looking for. So we just put them to the side.
Like what?
I don't know. They were just things, little screws and things. I don't know.
Oh, that sounds healthy. What could be possibly wrong with that? Okay. Just screws fell out, yeah?
Yeah,
Carry on.
It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. So, tipped it back up on its top, and I thought, because the problem is that the button was at the top, so I'm thinking, how am I going to get something into that space that's not going to fall out again? And you know what? I figured it. I figured it out. In fact, when I told you, you guessed.
I knew exactly what you were going to use.
This should be a competition question. We should give away a Lamborghini or something if someone gets this right.
But let's put it out there.
Yeah, I think we've got to tell people. I think we've got to tell people what it is. What did you think it was?
Of course, a bump-on.
Well, half right. 2 bump-ons.
2 bump-ons, yes.
Back to back, stuck them together, shoved it up, and up it went into the chasm. And problem solved.
Now, you say problem solved. Is it a temporary fix? I would have been tempted to use a little bit of super glue or something. Is the adhesive on the bump-on going to be enough to keep it in place?
It's not really. There's no adhesive involved. It's just that it's kind of holding in space. So the pronger is kind of holding onto one end of the bump-on, and then the other bump-on is on the button itself. It's working well, but will it last? Tune into the next exciting episode of Double Tap to find out. For now, though, that is us out of time today. But thank you, as always, for your wonderful emails and feedback. And I'm off to enjoy my birthday, have some cake tonight, and a nice meal. And I will catch you tomorrow, Shaun Preece.
Happy birthday. Bye-bye.